Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.
Unfortunately, I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio giving you a motivational speech. And Wall Street, it's nothing like the movies make it seem. But hey, despite all that, Wall Street is still amazing. Sure, I work 80 plus hours a week, and my bosses can be verbally abusive. But the light at the end of the tunnel is that one day I can be that verbally abusive boss myself. Once again, I'm Alexander, and I work as a wealth manager at Goldman Sachs, currently at the New York office. I've been at Goldman Sachs for about 4 years now, and let me tell you, it's a lot to handle. But what can you expect from a place that's harder to get into than any Ivy League school? The tears I've shed and the amount of ass I've had to kiss to get here, and yet I still wonder how I even made it. But here I am, and I really have to give a big thanks to Mr. Blackburn, my new student experience teacher. Honestly, I think the only reason I'm here is because of Mr. Blackburn. So let me tell you a little bit about him. To be honest, I've never met him, but his new student experience class definitely helped me prepare for the future. In that class, we were tasked with planning out the future of our education and figuring out our academic, personal, and career purposes. I think my purpose statement went something like, my purpose is to manage finances for companies and individuals, using my talents of adaptability and maximizing to help them save money. Looking at that now, I realize it probably sounds like a mission statement of some engineering major trying to save the world, only to be persuaded by Lockheed Martin with a 6-figure salary. My current position at Goldman Sachs is as a wealth manager, so while I'm doing what my purpose statement said, I'm definitely doing it in a different way.
Was all this legal?
I'm definitely doing it in a different way. For example, I help companies get richer, so woohoo to the top 1%. And I also help individuals with their finances, making sure they get richer too, so another woohoo. When I started taking new student experience, I really wanted to help people with their finances, since it's always been something I'm passionate about. For example, did you know that 20 to 40% of divorces are often related to their finances? But then, I thought I'd be making triple the salary at Goldman compared to a smaller firm. And let's just say, my desire to help people flew out the window faster than you could say compensation package. When you're getting paid $200,000, the last thing you care about is people who can't help you get richer. I remember during that class, we had to take a Clifton Strengths assessment, and the values I use the most are adaptability and maximizing. To get where I am, you have to adapt constantly and maximize everything you do. In a career where 300,000 people apply to every year, you've got to make sure you're irreplaceable. You've got to get everything done and make sure you do the work flawless. Adapt, or you'll die. Now let's talk education, certificates, and internships. Honestly, in this business, especially at a place like Goldman, you have to know someone to get anywhere. But even with connections, you need the right education, certificates, and internships to stick around. I got my bachelor's in accounting and finance from UCF, where the tuition would have been around $100,000, but thanks to Bright Futures, thank you 1997 Florida legislature, I went to college for free. Then I got my master's from Wharton, which was around another $100,000, but fortunately, I was awarded the Coolidge Scholarship, which gave me around $120,000. With the remaining $20,000, I invested in some future life projects. After finishing my education, I knew I needed experience to get my foot in the door. As a broke college graduate with no money or real experience, I applied for every single internship at every investment bank in the city, and I was fortunate enough to get accepted into Goldman Sachs' new analyst internship program. After completing the internship, I was hired as a private wealth manager. My starting salary was $105,000, and after a few years of working my ass off, I'm now making $200,000. So, what do I do as a private wealth manager? Simply put, I get paid to make the lives of HNWIs, or high net worth individuals' lives easier by helping them with their finance and estate planning. Tax evasion! But honestly, it's not as easy as it sounds. These people are entrusting me with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, and I have to make sure they see a maximum return on their investments. I monitor market trends, economic conditions, and investment opportunities. I help my clients navigate financial risk and recommend asset allocations. But let's be real. At the end of the day, it's all about making sure the rich get richer, while we at Goldman Sachs take a nice cut of their investment. At the end of the day, when I'm sitting in my brownstone house overlooking the Hudson, I can't help but realize there's no way I would have made it here without that new student experience class. That class taught me how to manage my time, my finances, and future goals, setting me up to be as prepared as I possibly could be for the journey ahead. And that's my story. Thank you. There
is no nobility in poverty.